What's up, people? Welcome to episode 8 of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play series. I'm just standing on our big fossil over here that we got built up last episode, and I am just absolutely loving how this thing came out. I was a little surprised on how good of a job I did. I'm not very good at building fossils, or I haven't built many of them this large, so I'm happy with how that turned out, and I think the most impressive thing that I'm proud of myself for is the skull up here. Once again, it is kind of like a T-Rex skull a little bit, and I was going for a Godzilla type fossil, but who knows what Godzilla's head would look like, or at least his skull, so I think that works for now. I got a few plans for this episode, and it's going to be a pretty automated episode, and I do want to try fitting in a little bit of time to actually head out and go look for a village, because I do want to get our villager trading started, and we don't even have a villager breeder yet I don't even think there's a village near us, because I've done some pretty good exploring around this place, and I have yet to see a village. I mean, we have that pillager outpost over there, but too bad you can't really trade with those guys. They kind of hate us a lot. Like, they always constantly shoot at us. But before we do that, I want to try getting ourselves built up with an automatic sugarcane farm. So last episode, we got a slime farm set up, and I'm kind of glad we did that early on, because the sugarcane farm that we're going to be building involves slime blocks. It's going to be a flying machine sugarcane farm, which usually works really well. They don't involve a ton of materials. I would say the most it involves is iron for the rails, but besides that, it's not too resource heavy. With that being said though, in between episodes, I actually decided to come down into the mines and get a little bit of strip mining done. And instead of carrying on the strip mine that we were using a few episodes back, I decided to start one more just because there's a lava pool at the end of that one, and I really didn't want to deal with it. And I got all their goodies in this chest here. Obviously, I had to use my silk touch to mine all this stuff, and check this out, guys. We got 18 diamonds, a stack and like a half of coal ore, 2 stacks of iron, tons of redstone, lapis, and gold. And I wanted to wait to mine all this stuff with a fortune pickaxe until you guys were here with me, because you know what, it's kind of a surprise on how many diamonds we can get from the diamond ore. So honestly, let's just throw this out right here and just build a little 2x2, and let's just get it all mined up. I mean, I really want to get this mined. I've been wanting to mine it for a while, so maybe we can just come through here and mine all this stuff up. And so we started with 18, so what can we get up to? All right, we're already at 23. Let's keep going. We got 45 diamonds from that, guys. We are stacked. That might actually put us at almost a full stack of diamonds. And you know what? Let's actually go back up to base and let's see how much it is combined together. I don't think it's actually going to make a full stack. I think it's just going to miss it now that I think about it, because I did spend a decent amount of diamonds on the diamond helmet and boots, and then I also made a few other diamond tools to get enchanted. But let's throw these guys together. Look at that, guys. Exactly 64 diamonds. Check that out. That is so sweet to have. We're going to get a bunch more redstone because we have some in here, and we also have some down at the mine. I don't know why I ran up here without collecting the other stuff, because I need to get all that iron smelted up for part of the projects we have today. But it is time for me to get all my chores done. So all the chores are all finished up, and I even collected up the beetroot farm, and I went down and collected up the sugarcane farm. But I did forget to get some pumpkins, but that's all right. We'll have an auto pumpkin farm soon enough. But now that we got that finished up, I actually got to head over to the birch forest, which is right over by the swamp. I don't know if I've shown you guys it, but it's really not that far at all. And the reason we're heading over there is for this sugarcane farm, we need a block that slime blocks can't move, and those blocks are going to be leaves. So we're going to use leaves as a little perimeter for it. And you guys know how much I love to use my leaves everywhere. So it should actually make the farm look pretty cool as long as we do a little bit of a design. But right there you can see is the birch forest. So I'm going to make a few shears here and collect up maybe like 10 stacks of leaves. I would say should be plenty more than we'll need, but I do want to have extra birch leaves just because those custom trees we're building over there, those use birch leaves. So it's just good to have it. And you can also see right here, I've kind of depleted part of this forest, just a little bit of its leaves. So the idea is around the sugarcane farm, we're going to have a perimeter of leaves so like mobs and stuff can't get in there and break the farm. And yeah, that's pretty much all the leaves are going to be used for. And then now I just got to get a few other things put together here for this sugarcane farm. But with that being said, I figured out a little bit of land that I think we're going to be building this sugarcane farm on, and it's going to be a pretty decently sized piece of land. And I'm sure you guys can hear that below me is the skeleton that is under here, because I forgot to light up the behind of this cliffside right here. But I'm thinking the sugarcane farm is going to go right in this area, kind of backing up to the river over there, or at least I think there's a river over there. Let's go take a look real quick. Nope, there is not a river right here. I don't know why I thought there's a river right here, but yeah, as you can see, this is a pretty flat piece of land, and it's kind of off to the side over here because I have some big plans for directly in front of the horse stables. So I got to get all these trees cleared out and dig, I think 2 blocks down or 3 blocks down, so we can throw some rails under this guy. So I'm going to get started with clearing this guy out just a little bit. So after a little while here, I got this whole area cleared out and we got a little pit dug for the rails to go in. And then the idea is that the leaves are going to come up maybe 2 or 3 blocks like that. I'm thinking it's going to be 2 blocks, and then we can actually have the slime blocks and pistons at this block level right here. But I think I'm going to get started on placing some of the rails in. And also real quick before I get started on that, I did a little bit of terraforming right here just to make it blend a little bit better over here. But yeah, I'm going to get started on the rails. And just like that, the rails are all finished up. Now this took me a lot longer than I thought it would to place in these rails, and it's mainly because of having to dig down 2 blocks, get a redstone torch placed, and then place the rail and just kind of go back and forth. But this should be fine. There's only 2 like exits kind of for everything to exit out of the minecart hoppers, which should be fine because I don't think this thing's going to be pumping out rates too gnarly. And yeah, I just think it'll be fine. And then the design we're going to go for placing the sugarcane, there's actually a very particular design to do to get the most sugarcane placed down in a small area. And I used it over here on our kind of makeshift sugarcane farm. And all you do is you go like 1 block over and 1 block up, or 1 block over, 2 blocks up. And it works the best because you can get sugarcane placed in all 4 corners. So I'm going to go about that. And then to make sure the water doesn't seep down and break the rails, we're going to be using half slabs. So with that being said, I think I'm going to get started on doing that. It shouldn't take too long. I think it might take longer than the rails, to be honest. But you know what? I think it's totally worth doing it. So I finally got this all finished up, and it took way, way too long. So I kept thinking I was getting it wrong, but it turns out the size of this doesn't really work out for kind of the template of the water placing that I'm using. So we're going to lose a few sugarcane placements, but you know what? I think it's fine. It shouldn't make too big of a difference with the results we get from this guy. The biggest thing for me is my OCD right now really wants to fix this, but I think I'm going to let it be. But with that being said, I think I'm going to get started on the flying machines, and then we're going to get the sugarcane placed in after. And then obviously we got to go around and design it and make it look a little bit nicer so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb in our village. So for these flying machines, they're actually pretty simple devices. Once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad, but I did get this part wrong right here. So we want to put that roughly right there, and we want this to point this way. And I got to lower this all down 1 block. I kind of messed that one up just a little bit. So I'll get that done in a second, but then we want to bring this over 1 more so we can do something along those lines. And then we're just going to stretch this all the way out to right on the edge. And I think we're actually going to replace this with a glass block. Even though the leaves can't stick to this, I think it might look cool if we do like a glass block edge to it. And then we also want to carry this out. I forgot how slow you move on slime blocks. So then we just want to carry this out a little bit more all the way to the edge. And we'll leave this one open, like I said, for those glass blocks. Guys, check this out. There's a creeper hidden down here, and it almost just exploded everything. Check this out right there. Okay, let's see if we can actually lead this guy out of here maybe. So this thing is all finished up, and I actually lowered down this little docking station 1 block, and then I realized it was supposed to be in the same spot it already was. So if we flick this lever, and it might get a little loud for a second, it should just take off and it'll go back and forth and back and forth. But then if we flip this lever, that will cause it to stop. So this thing is pretty much done for the redstone. And like I said, these things are the easiest things to build. They can lag your game just a little bit if you don't have a computer that can really handle this type of stuff. But for me, it works perfectly fine. With that being said though, I think it's time we actually get some sugarcane placed in. So as we're detailing this place, we can actually get some sugarcane growing and we can start our collecting. So I'm gonna get started on detailing all of this up. All right, so I may have gone a little overkill on the sugarcane farm here. This is about 6.5 stacks of sugarcane placed down, and this has been running for, I would say, roughly 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. And we're already at over a stack and 14 right there. And if we come over to this side, because don't forget, there's 2 chests. So if one's at a stack over there, I'm gonna guess this one's at a stack also. And this one's even higher. That's at a stack and 24. So yeah, if this is only like 5 to 7 minutes, then this is going to be a pretty ridiculous farm if we AFK overnight. But there is still a little bit more work to be done. I do want to connect both these chests up with hoppers, but our iron supply is like 100% depleted. Like we literally have like maybe like 4 iron nuggets to our name. Like we literally have nothing. So I cannot connect those guys up. I mean, I do have 3 hoppers, which still won't make a difference. But yeah, I do want to get those guys connected up and then kind of have almost like a little like tunnel going down, or not really a tunnel, more like a staircase going down to like maybe 4 or 5 chests to hold the sugarcane from this farm. But like if we just stop and look at this, look how quick some of this stuff grows. Like if we just stand here, for like a minute. I'm sure, yeah, we just saw one grow right there. I'm sure we'll see a few more grow if we just stand here. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, guys. I'm really happy with how this turned out. From up here, the farm actually doesn't look awful, but I don't like how much it stands out because it's just kind of like a flat wall shooting across of just leaves, and it really blends in on that back wall with the forest behind it. So we got to do a little bit more terraforming around this and maybe do a few custom trees. But with that being said, it's pretty late at night right now in real life. So I think I'm going to hit the bed and I will see you guys in the morning. And it is now the morning. Good morning, everyone. And I'm ready to get a day started on playing some Minecraft. So last night, like we talked about, I finished up the sugarcane farm, but it definitely needs a little bit of work and I need to figure out what I'm going to do about the little storage room down here because I really don't like how janky it is by just having dirt staircases going down to 2 chests on each side. And I'm going to guess we're going to need more chests than this because the rates that we're getting on this guy is ridiculous. But I think we're going to take a little break from building because we've been doing a lot of building lately. I mean, we've really expanded the village in the last 3 episodes, and I want to expand it a little bit more, but more so by going to get some villagers. Now, I have no clue where a village might be, so we're going to have to go do a bunch of exploring, and if I explore for like an hour or 2 and I can't seem to find a village, then I'm probably going to use a village locator, but I prefer not to because I feel it's not cheating, but I feel like it's definitely on the line of cheating, I would say. So with that being said, in between episodes, I actually took this little river we have right here, and if you go all the way to the end of the river, I didn't even realize there's an ocean at the end of it, and it's really not that far away. So I think what we're going to do is take a few boats with us and then hopefully we can find a village up against the ocean, which would be like perfect. But I'm going to hope we can, but I don't know if we will for sure. So I'm going to get a few boats together, we have enough food, and then get the rest of this stuff put away. And we're going to head out on our little voyage. So I got all our resources and right around this corner should be the ocean. Yes, there it is. So we're just going to head out in this direction. I think I got everything we're roughly going to need. I got ourselves a bed, a stack of logs, a few boats. Oh, and it looks like there's a shipwreck over there. You know what? We got an empty inventory, so might as well fill it up. So yeah, let's go hit this shipwreck. But yeah, I really like this area out in the ocean. It's just kind of a cool little vibe. We have a pretty big mountain here, and then we're having a little bit of lag loading that guy in. But that was like a really big spike going up. Yep, you can see it right there, and it looks really cool for just naturally generated terrain. But let's check out what is in this guy. Yeah, this thing might be fully glitched out. Like it may have just not spawned correctly at all. So let's dig this way. I don't think there's anything down here now that I'm really looking at it. Yeah, I don't think this spawned correctly. All right, well, that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping we would get something out of it. Maybe we can dig this out a little bit and see if anything is down here. Nope, there is not. All right, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. So let's just keep heading out in this direction and hopefully we can find ourselves a village. Guys, I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Check this out. We got a village like directly straight out from kind of where we were, which is pretty sweet. And it is also directly up against the ocean. Now that is awesome, but we got to make landfall and actually place our bed down and sleep because the last thing I want is the village that's right up against the ocean, like the perfect village for all the villagers to die by zombies. So we'll just kind of like make landfall right here. And this is a pretty cool village since it's right up against the water. There's like almost docks out here, which normally would be pathway, or this might be docks. And I've never seen this before. This is really cool, but time to sleep. All right, sleepy time is over. I got our boat and I got our bed. So let's just head over. Please be some villagers, please. Yeah, I see a villager right there. And this is perfect. It's literally like right up against the water. This couldn't be any better. Now this is a big thing I'm hoping for. Any carrots anywhere? Yes, that's a carrot. Guys, we got another carrot back. All right, let's see any more carrots so it can help us plant more down. Sweet. All right, we got a few carrots here. I'm stoked about that one. Let's gather these up too. I am definitely going to be taking this bell. Sorry, villagers, but I'm going to be raiding your village just a little bit. And let's see if there's a blacksmith maybe, because that would be pretty cool. Is this a librarian? Yes, it is. So we can just take some of these books. Yeah, we're definitely going to raid this guy. Looks like we have a second librarian right here. So let's take all this. That gives us 2 lecterns and a decent amount of books right there. Is that a third one over there? If there's 3 librarians here, that is pretty cool. Like that, yep, it is a librarian. I can barely see the books through. All right, let's collect this one up also. But it doesn't look like there's a blacksmith. I mean, blacksmiths don't have the best loot anymore, especially because we're a little further into the game. But I'm definitely going to take this blast furnace. Definitely a good thing to have. And I think there was a second one down here, or is this a flower guy? This might be a cartographer. Yeah, it is. And we just got empty maps right here. So we can just take those with us. So it's not the shortest journey back, but it's also not the longest. But I think we should get started by placing down one of these boats, maybe. Come on. Can I not place these down here? Okay, yeah, we can. So we just got to get over by this villager. Please, please, please. Come on, hop in it. Hop in it. I know you want to get in the boat. I know you want to get in the boat. Come on. I'm pretty sure these guys can hop in boats. I'm pretty sure. Can they not? I thought they could. Can they not? Oh, yep, there we go. Okay, we got a villager and a boat. All right, let's get this guy back to base and we can find a little hidden area. And then I got to come back again and grab a second villager. Buddy, you are going to love your new home. Trust me, you are really going to like it. We got a little bit of sailing to do. Hopefully you don't get seasick and throw up on me. But yeah, I'm sure you're going to love your new home, bud. We are almost back at base. We're just passing the skeleton spawner and base should be right there. I can see the trees poking through the skyline. So we're just going to dig a little hole, fill it up with torches, and then throw this guy in there. And then we got to go back and get the second villager. So where should we put these guys? I mean, we can just dig them right into this wall right here. So yeah, we'll just do something a little bit like this. Dig it down one block, and we just want to go back just enough so the villager doesn't suffocate or anything like that, because that would really suck to happen. And then let's just fill this up with torches. That should be plenty of torches, and we can just drive this guy right in here. Or actually, I'm glitching the boat now. All right, come on, let me out of here. Let me out of here. Yep, there we go. All right, we were glitching the boat for a second, but yeah, with boats, you wouldn't necessarily be driving it. I think it's called conning a boat. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, but that guy should be fully safe now, and we can just put this right here. And to make sure we remember where this villager is, we'll just throw torches right there so we always know where this guy is. So I got the second villager all brought back, and he's in his little area like the first one. They're just side by side, so we can actually get those guys breeding up. But I think we're going to wait a few episodes till we start to work with those guys, because I have a few plans for today's episode, and that includes a proper storage room. We really got to get a true storage room set up, because I'm getting to the point with our little storage in here that I'm throwing random blocks in random places just because we're running out of room. And it's like, you go in this chest and this doesn't make sense. I have bricks and granite mixed with leaves and seeds and saplings, which should not be together. So I do want to get a full storage room set up. Now, the only catch here is that I want to be able to decorate this place, and we're going to need some iron for lanterns, but I used all my iron up on the sugarcane farm over there. So what I'm going to do is actually hop into some caves, and I'm not going to go strip mining, because strip mining is a lot better for like redstone and diamonds, and you get some iron out of it. But when you go into caves, there's a lot more surface showing, so you can see a lot more iron. So what I'm going to do is hop down into those caves, and if there's anything special that you guys might want to see, I'll definitely throw it in the video, but it's just iron mining. I'm not going for any diamonds or anything. So I just got back from the caves, and I want to say we got a little over 2 stacks of iron. I actually think it was 2 stacks and 14 iron, and this stuff is finished smelting up, but I wanted to explain just real quick kind of what this storage room is that we're going to be building. So if you see right over here, there's a little flat spot raised above the river, and I'm thinking of almost doing a warehouse style building and using a lot of brick and granite, I think is the idea I'm going for. I have 2 different designs, but I still haven't decided which one I want to do. I do want to change up the building style just a little bit, because I think we need to make this a little bit more diverse of a village and not just have the same look of oak and spruce and dark oak. So yeah, I think we're going to go with that granite and brick design. It's just going to be a warehouse that sits right here. But while we build this guy up, I think we're going to be throwing this into time-lapse mode, since we haven't done a time-lapse so far this episode. So I'm going to get this guy built up, and I will see you guys when it is all finished up. Wowzers, that took way longer than I thought it was going to take, mainly because I didn't plan this thing out at all, like not even a little bit. I just kind of went for it and hoped I could get it first try. And I knew I wanted to do a smokestack here. The only issue was I didn't know how I was going to go about it. So I'm sure you guys noticed a few revisions right there. And then also I decided to bring in some note blocks, which I'm super proud of bringing in, just because not necessarily the easiest block to work with. And it adds a bunch of detail just because these things have a ton of different color tones on it. It's all brown, so it blends pretty well with spruce wood, but definitely not an easy block to use. So I kind of used it as almost like a border in between when blocks or block color would switch a little bit. Like right there, we have that little roof, and I use that as kind of the in-between block to help make it blend just a little bit better. But I definitely went for a totally different look than what we've been doing so far in the village. This is way more industrial, where these buildings are a lot more of like a farmhouse type style, which I'm totally fine with. And I do want to actually do our carrot field along this strip of land right here, and we'll cover up this little pond, I'm thinking, or we can kind of make it almost like an oasis and have tons of stuff growing out of it. Not necessarily an oasis because it's not in the desert, but you guys know what I mean. So we would have a carrot field right here, pretty large one. But yeah, I'm very happy with how I did this. But the main reason we did build this guy was to get a storage system put in here. So I think it's time we actually get started on our little storage room. I got 64 chests crafted up here. Yep, that was 8 stacks of wood put into this guy. So we should have 32 double chests, and I'm just kind of thinking of the best way to have this kind of laid out. So to get the most chest in for the room we have, we would have to go sideways like this, and we can just span it all the way across along the walls. But then I also think it would be pretty cool if we did something a little bit like that, but we're not going to get nearly as much chest in. It would only be half of what we could actually get in there if we did this way. And also if we do it this way, it gives us a little bit more room here, where this one we're only gonna have 4 blocks, and then the wall right here, which I don't love. It's a little close up right when you walk in, like right here would be looking at the chest, like right up against them, where this, we're still 1 block back from it, which is pretty nice, but I gotta figure out which way I'm gonna do this. So I think we're just gonna do it this way right here, just because I do want to get as many chests in here as possible, and this is definitely the way to do it. So I'm just gonna get all these guys placed in and get a little border around the outside of all these chests to make it look just a bit nicer. So all the chests are all placed in, and I use some strip spruce logs kind of along the edge right here. And I think we're gonna bring in some glowstone right here just to add a little bit of dramatic lighting to the outsides of the chest. But this should be plenty of storage for a pretty long time, at least until we get an automatic storage system set up, which is pretty far in the future. But if we fill this guy up, I'm gonna be impressed. Like this is, I wanna say, what was it, 36 double chest I think we're at, because if we go 7 each layer, 7 times 4, yeah, we're not necessarily 36 double chests, but it's pretty far up there. So I'm just heading back over to the starter house right now to go grab some of that glowstone, and I'm gonna look around in our chest and see if we have any other blocks that could look pretty cool in that area. And it looks like night is falling, so I gotta shriek away night real quick. So I got the glowstone, and I also wanted to show you guys, so from this angle right here, this smokestack looks a little bit plain right now, but what I did is added in some pots with some saplings in them, and I think we just need to add a little bit of greenery to kind of mix up the whole like orangish red look that's going on right now. It's not terrible, but it definitely needs a little bit more color to it. But let's actually hop down here and get the glowstone placed around the edges. Yeah, so that should work right about there. It looks a little weird having the glowstone on the edges, but not much I can do about it because this wall on the back, the stone brick wall, on the other side of that is the outside, and I don't really want to have glowstone showing on the outside of this. But an idea I had is, if this, imagine this wasn't there, so let's actually come over to this side, is we can actually do barrels right here for things that we're not going to need a ton of, and then we can just do the logs like we did here and just have kind of that little perimeter around it. So I'm going to go get a couple barrels made up. I think we're going to need 16 barrels and some spruce logs because I'm all out. So I'm going to go mine a few tall spruce trees real quick just so we can get those guys, and I'm going to get this stuff placed in, and I'll bring you guys back then. So I just realized those last few clips there were all in shaders. It's that enhanced default, guys. I swear, like it really doesn't change much the game except some shadows. Like, it's super nice that I didn't even notice. But I got all our chest in, and I got all the barrels, and you guys saw me put the chest in, but the barrels are looking pretty nice. They blend really well with this strip spruce, which I'm liking a lot. And like I said, this should be plenty of storage. The only thing is I did kind of want to do item frames of saying what each chest is, and I don't like putting the item frame on the chest right here because it gives you like a little sliver to open the chest up with. So I think what I'm going to try doing is memorizing what each and every chest is. I know this is a lot of chests and a lot of barrels, but what I should be able to do is like wood right along these ones, different kinds of stone and bricks, and then I can just kind of go along like that and have little sections. Like each 4 chests could be for certain items, and I think we're going to do a lot of our like iron and that type of goodies in these here, and a lot of mob drops in these, which should work perfectly fine. But guys, thank you very much for watching today's episode. That's all we can get done today. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next episode.